to HR Hot Topics. I'm your host, Jodi Schafer, and I want to extend a special welcome to my Michigan Optometric Association members because this may be the first time many of you are seeing this email. As I said, my name is Jodi, and we have put together monthly email messages for all of you as business owners where we touch on leadership topics or things that are happening in human resources or employment law at the state and federal level, and it's a great way to keep you informed. So welcome, and let's jump into November's episode. This month I want to talk about two very separate topics. The first is an update to the earning threshold for your salaried or your exempt workforce. And the second is a little bit more broad and leadership focused, and it has to do with the topic of appreciation. This being November, and with Thanksgiving at the end of the month, it seemed like a good time to just remind all of us to check in with our teams and see how we're doing in the area of appreciation. So first, let's talk about the update. In September of this year, the Department of Labor came out with an update to the Fair Labor Standards Act, which is a federal law that talks about minimum wage and working hours and overtime. So this is a law that all employers who are earning at least $500,000 in revenue per year or have employees engaged in interstate commerce, and that can mean everything from accepting credit card payments to ordering supplies from a company that's out of state. If either of those two qualifications apply to you, then you are expected to comply with the Fair Labor Standards Act. And the Department of Labor came out with an update, as I said, and the update specifically talks about earning thresholds. So your exempt employees, your salaried staff, have to meet a duties requirement. So the work they perform has to fall under one of the categories for an exemption. And there's more information about that in the email message this month. But they also have to earn a minimum amount of money because your exempt staff don't qualify for overtime. So that earning threshold on January 1st, 2020 is going to increase from $455 a week to $684 a week. So if you're annualizing that new minimum earning threshold is going to move up to $35,568. I keep looking down. I had to write it to make sure I got that right. And there were also some updates to the minimum earning threshold for highly compensated employees. There was a change to how you can calculate that earning threshold and the use of discretionary bonuses, non-discretionary bonuses, etc. So all of that is contained in the email message, but just wanted to make sure that you were keyed into the fact that that earning threshold is going to change in January so that you can budget accordingly. Now on to the topic of appreciation. And as I said, with this being November and the month of Thanksgiving, I wanted to challenge all of you to take a look at your workforce and carve out some time to make all of your staff feel appreciated. Now, why am I bringing this up? One, I always think that that's a great idea, and we want to retain the staff we have and making them feel like they belong and heard and, awarded for the work they do, but also appreciated for who they are as human beings goes a long way in retention. But I also want to frame this in the context of a recent Gallup poll. So in 2018, Gallup surveyed the American workforce, and they were surveying them on the topic of engagement. Highly engaged employees put effort and energy into the organization, and it's in the direction you want them to go. On the other end of the spectrum, actively disengaged employees put in effort and energy too, but it's in the opposite direction. We would refer to those as our problem children, the squeaky wheel, the toxic employee. But the biggest section of the American workforce actually sits right in between those two extremes. 53% of the American workforce in this current poll polled in the middle, so not engaged or waiting to be engaged. In layman's terms, this large section of the workforce feels ignored on a daily basis because they're not your rock stars who get the accolades and the pats on the back and the extra opportunity, and they're not your problem children. So what happens if you are a business owner or a supervisor, a leader, is that you have a lot of things on your plate in a given day and many demands on your time. And because many of your staff sort of fall in the middle, they're role players, You don't devote or carve out time to have the one-on-one with them. And it's not intentional, but the impact is that they feel ignored. And it's the number one reason that people choose to leave, quite honestly. So with this being the month of Thanksgiving and gratitude, I really wanted to challenge all of you to stop, assess all of your staff, and figure out who has been feeling ignored, and what can you do for them, and really for all staff this month. And it might be as simple as a handwritten note that talks about the qualities or attributes that they bring that you're just so appreciative to have on the team. The more customized and personalized you can make that, the more meaningful it will be. You can do acts of service, so you could make the job easier for them. You could fix the faulty equipment they've been complaining about. It could be quality time. You could just simply check in with them. How are they doing, right? Not while you're multitasking and trying to do 3 other things, but really just carve out a little bit of time to say, hello and thank you. Another one is gifts. It's the only one I've said so far that costs any money. But if you know their favorite coffee or their favorite restaurant, or a nice bouquet of flowers, this is a great month to kind of check in with staff and just leave a little something nice for them. Thank you for tuning in, MOA members. I hope that you found this video to be valuable. As I said in the beginning, these will be coming to your inbox once a month. The topics will change, but hopefully the value remains consistent. You also get access to me a half hour free every month through your MOA membership. So if you're struggling with an employee issue, you have a compliance question, you need help putting together a handbook, or you need sample forms, templates, I'm working with MOA to make all of those available to you. So please reach out to me directly at Jodi Schafer at workwithhrm.com, or you can check the MOA website, and there are some links below in this message to explain further the benefits being offered. But I look forward to connecting with you. And again, thanks for joining us.